before we get moving, just a quick reminder of what else GoGo offers. So in addition to these classes, you can access rides, meals, groceries, medication delivery, and home services, all by calling one number. And that phone number is 855-464-6872. We also have a referral program. So at the bottom of your GoGo receipts, there is a code. If you give that code to a friend and they take their first service with GoGo, then you will both receive $30 in credit. So a pretty good win-win if you know someone else would benefit from GoGo. We have a Facebook group, so if you ever want to continue any of our conversations online, you can find us on Facebook. We'll share a link in the chat, and that way it's easy for you to go there maybe after class. Alrighty, if we haven't met, I'm Aedra. I teach the yoga and the functional fitness classes here at GoGo on Wednesdays and Fridays. Today is functional fitness, so what do we need? We need a chair. Sometimes we use the wall, but that's optional. Some light weights if you have them, anything 1 to 3 pounds. You can also skip that or grab some cans. Just something to hold on to can be helpful as we do the arm exercises. And that's it. So a chair, weights, and maybe some wall space, but really all you need is a chair. Let's see, we're Wednesday, so there was a functional fitness move of the week. Does anybody remember? Yes, Carol, please.
It's heel races.
Yes, good. Oh, good. I'm always glad when you're here because then I know we'll get the move. We'll get the move. Did you do some heel raises? Oh, you know what? You are on mute. I don't know how that happened.
I put it on mute. I'm doing them right now.
Great. Excellent. Love it. Awesome. Let's see. I think that's it. Let's get going. Oh, good. We didn't have to spend, sometimes we spend several minutes trying to remember the move of the week. Thank you, Carol. Alrighty, so my screen should pop up here in a moment, nice and big. If it doesn't, you can adjust your settings. So the way you would adjust your settings is you'll move your cursor to the top right-hand corner of your Zoom screen. I'm just gonna wipe my camera. I think that might help actually. If you move your cursor to the top right-hand corner of your Zoom screen, a box will pop up that says View. You can pick Speaker View and you'll see me nice and big. Or you can stick to Gallery View and you'll see everybody else. All right, so go ahead and find a nice standing position if that's accessible to you. If not, you can be seated, that's okay. Let's do a few shoulder rolls back, just bringing ourselves into this space. And some shoulder rolls forward. And then let the shoulders relax. Let's inhale, open up the arms and lift the chest. So you're doing a little bit of a back bend. And then exhale, round the back, bring the backs of the hands to touch, tuck your tail, curve your spine. So we inhale, open the arms, lift the chest. Exhale, open the back of the body, drop the chin, backs of the hands touch. Keep going at your own pace. So don't worry about my speed. Move at your pace. So everything I do is just a suggestion. You can always skip, modify, add things. And then coming back to center, let your arms relax and begin to bend side to side. So you're sliding one arm down your leg and then the other. Moving again at your own pace, as slow or as fast as you'd like. And coming back to center. Let's bring the fingertips to the shoulders, elbows out to the side, and then soften those knees. So just a little bend of the knees, and we'll twist just the upper body. So the lower body tries to stay still as you rotate the upper body. All right, and coming to center, let those arms relax. Let's take those feet wide. We'll go a little wider than the shoulders. Toes can point forward or just slightly out to the side. We're just doing some squats. We bend the knees, hips go back, and then come up. I'll give you a side view. You don't need to move. It's just so that you can see a different perspective. So keep going. You decide how low you go. So these can be very small if that feels better on your body today. All right, and then next time you're all the way up, take a moment, shake it off, and let's grab our weights. We're gonna do some bicep curls. So grabbing your weights or your cans, you can do this standing. I would recommend doing it standing generally. I'm gonna sit today, I'm just feeling a little bit tired. So I'm gonna sit, so if you need to sit, right, listen to your body, have a seat when you do the bicep curls. We're gonna do some curls here. So straight arms and then bent elbows, hands by the shoulders. If you don't have weights, you can imagine that you're lifting something heavy and slowly lowering it down. Couple more. Good. And then release, put your weights down for a moment. You can stay standing or seated. You'll bring your right ear towards your right shoulder, just a little stretch of the neck here. And left ear to left shoulder. One more time, right ear towards the right shoulder. Left ear towards the left shoulder. And then coming back up. Go ahead and come to stand. And if you are seated, and you're gonna come behind your chair or come to a wall. We're gonna do some balance work. So hands are supporting you at the wall or at your chair or at a table. We'll start with our feet together. So feet are touching in together. We're just gonna stand, letting those arms relax. Feel free to close your eyes for a little more challenge. So we're just feeling, what does the body do when the feet are together or close together? And the eyes are closed. What does your balance do? Does your body sway a little and adjust? Does that feel really hard? And then open the eyes, hands back to the chair or to your support. We'll step the right foot in front of the left. So we're now standing on a balance beam or a tightrope. We're holding on with two hands or one hand or just a few fingers or no hands. Hands back to the support if you've lifted them, and we'll switch. So now left foot comes in front of the right. We're standing on that tight rope or that balance beam. Holding on with two hands, one hand, couple fingers, or no hands. Hands back to the support. Let's take those feet next to each other. Now we stand on one foot, if that's possible. If it's not, just repeat one of the earlier exercises. If it is possible, you're trying to stand, lifting one foot off the ground. You're holding on with two hands, or one hand, or one or two fingers, or no hands. Find the challenge for you. So you want it to feel hard, but not impossible. Hands back to the support, and we'll switch. Other leg. So other leg comes off the ground if possible. We're holding on with two hands, one hand, couple fingers, or no hands. It's up to you. Bring the foot back down. Two hands on your chair. Let's walk back upside down, L position or chair dog. Give yourself a little stretch. Ankles are approximately under the hips. The knees can be bent or straight. The torso can be lifted, so it doesn't need to look exactly like me. This is just a suggestion. Then lift yourself back up. And we're going back into our squat. So now for this next set of squats, if you want to grab your weights, go ahead and grab them. I'm not going to grab them today. Like I said, I'm feeling a little tired, so no weights for me, but feel free to grab your weights and bring them by the chest. So I'll imagine that I'm holding my weights if you want them. Feet go a little wider than the shoulders. We bend the knees, hips go back, and we straighten those legs. So we go down and up. It's up to you how deep you go. You can make this really small if that's better on your body. You can make this fast if you feel like you need more of a cardio workout. Maybe one or two more. And then go ahead and keep holding on to those weights if you have them. Grab them if you need them. Again, feel free to stay standing. I'm just sitting because that's what I need, right? Listen to your body. What do you need? Generally, I'd stay standing, but today's sitting. Grab those weights, bicep curls. So we bend and straighten those elbows, bringing the weights by the shoulders and then bringing them back down. All right, let's go ahead and put those weights down. We'll come to stand behind the chair or find a wall or a table, something to hold on to. And we're going back to our balancing. So we're going to step the right foot in front of the left, finding that balance beam. I'm going to face you here for a moment. You can keep facing whatever direction you're facing. You're holding on with one or two hands or hovering your hands, or so be ready to grab a hold. You can stay with this. So if this feels like enough challenge, stay here. If you need a little more challenge, you're going to rotate your head right and left, like you're shaking your head no. So you'll look over your left shoulder, bring your head back to center, and then look over your right shoulder. And back to center one more time. Look over your first shoulder, center, over the second shoulder, center, and let's switch legs. So other foot comes in front. Again, you can keep your chair in front of you. I'm just facing you so you can see my head moving. So finding your balance. Once you feel balanced, you're going to turn your head, look one way. So maybe looking to the right. Center, look to the left. Center, one more time, right. Center, and left. Center, great, and letting that go. We're gonna go back to our squats, but we're changing the type of squat. So instead of the regular squats, we're going into something called sumo squats, which are just really wide squats. So our initial squats were maybe a little wider than the shoulders or about shoulder width. Now I want you to go wider, and this helps to have your toes pointing slightly out. So you're going definitely wider than the shoulders, so that when you go down, you feel like your legs are far apart. You can have your weights here in front of your chest if you'd like. Again, I'm just not gonna hold my weights today, but you go ahead, grab those weights if you want. We go into these sumo squats. So it's not a plie, so the hips still go back, torso comes forward. We're not vertical. So it's still a squat. It's just a really wide squat. And I like those toes pointing out and those knees tracking along that same line as the toes. Maybe one or two more. Great. And go ahead and grab your weights. So we're going to do a different variation of the bicep curl. So you take the palms now are going to face inward. The palms face in for this bicep curl. So our initial bicep curl, palms were facing forward. For this one, palms face in. If you didn't do it that way, then maybe do whichever way you didn't do. Right, so we can do lots of different variations. There's the palms forward. That's what we were doing earlier. Now we do palms in, so it's called a hammer curl. Maybe one or two more. Great, and then letting that go, putting those weights off to the side. We're going back to our balance. We're going to change our head movement. So we're standing right foot in front of the left, or whichever side you want to do first. It doesn't matter. So one foot in front of the other. We're holding on with one or two hands or no hands. This time we're going to look up towards the ceiling. Head back to center. And then down towards the ground. Center, one more time. Look up to the ceiling. Center, look down to the ground. Center. Let's switch. So other foot in front, so whichever side you haven't done. Find that balance beam, find that tightrope, find your balance here. Look up to the ceiling. Feel free to hold on. Center. Look down to the ground. Center. Again, up to the ceiling. Center, and down to the ground. Center. Good. Go ahead and let that go. And we're going to do one more set of sumo squats and hammer curls. So grabbing those weights if you want them or not. Feet go wide, toes point out. Knees are going to track along that same line as your toes. We bend the knees, hips go back, and we come up. Keep going. So if you're not sure, all you really want is a wider squat than what you were doing earlier, right? We just want to get the muscles, different muscles. Again, it's up to you how fast or slow you go, how deep you go. All right. Finishing that off, bringing your legs back towards each other. Shake it off as needed, and we go back to those hammer curls. So palms face in, we bend the elbows, hands by the shoulders, and back down. Couple more. Good. Go ahead and put the weights down. We're going back to our balance. The head movement's going to be ear towards the shoulder and then other ear to the shoulder. So it's a lateral flexion, or you can think side bend of the neck. So just heads up, that's where we're going. Stand one foot in front of the other. Doesn't matter, whichever one you want. You can hold on with two hands, one hand, or no hands. Find your balance first. Once you feel steady, then you'll bring one ear towards the shoulder. Again, you're not going to touch the shoulder. You're just doing this little side bend of the head and neck. Center. Other ear towards the shoulder. And center one more time each side. Ear towards the shoulder. Center, other side. Ear towards the shoulder. Center. Great, let's switch feet. So other foot in front, again, doesn't matter. Feel free to hold on as needed. So one or two hands or none. Once you find your balance, so take your time, find that balance, and you can bring an ear towards the shoulder, pause. Center, then other ear. Center, first ear. Center, second ear. Center, shake it off. All right, let's take a moment, reach those arms back behind you. If you can, you're going to clasp your hands. If you can't, you're just reaching back and we're squeezing those shoulder blades together, just giving yourself a little chest opening. Hands can be close to your hips or they can be further back. It's up to you. And again, hands can be separated if that's better on your body. 3 deep breaths. And release the hands, shake it off. All right, let's have a seat. You're going to sit towards the front edge of your chair. So just make sure you have plenty of room behind you. So sitting towards the front of the chair, there's lots of space between you and the back of the chair. We'll straighten out one leg in front of you. I'll do my left leg first. You can do whatever you'd like. So straightening one leg out in front. And we're going to lift and lower this left leg. trying not to move the torso. So this torso is very still. The pelvis is still. It's the leg bone moving in the hip socket. So we lift the leg and lower, up and down. It's up to you how high you go, so long as you're not moving any other body part. So it's just the leg bone moving. All right, and we'll switch. Bend the left knee, straighten out the right, or whichever side you haven't done. Toes point up to the ceiling, spine stays still, lift and lower the leg. All right, and then letting that go. Let's go ahead and do some heel raises. So some of you can do this seated, doing lifting and lowering the heels. Otherwise, you're going to stand up and come stand behind your chair. And do some heel raises here. So feet can be separated maybe 4 to 6 inches. All 10 toes face forward. You lift and lower the heels. So again, you can do that seated as well if that feels better for your body today. All right, and then let's do a stretch. So a calf stretch, this will be easier in standing. You'll step your right foot back behind you, left leg in front, we bend the front knee. So we have all 10 toes facing forward, both heels are on the ground. The back leg is straight, the front knee is bent. We're pushing the back heel into the ground, and that should give you a little calf stretch. Go ahead and step forward, and we'll switch sides. Other leg steps back. All 10 toes face forward, both feet are flat on the ground. We bend the front knee. Front knee is bent, back leg is straight. All 10 toes face forward, heels are on the ground. Great, and stepping forward and coming back to your seat. We're repeating those leg lifts. Left leg straight in front of you, toes up to the ceiling. Torso stays out of it. We lift and lower that left leg. Good. Go ahead and bend. Switch sides. Other leg straightens, toes up to the ceiling. Up and down. All right. Both feet down. You can stay seated or stand doing your heel raises. So that's when those heels come up and down. Toes stay on the ground. So I'm showing you the seated one. And then I'll transition to the standing. You do whatever feels good for you today. All right, and then we move into our calf stretch. Right foot stays where it is, left foot steps back, all 10 toes face forward. Front knee bends, back leg is straight. Give yourself a calf stretch. And we'll switch, step the left foot forward, right leg goes back. Again, all 10 toes face forward, both heels are on the ground, front knee is bent, back leg is straight. All right, and coming up. So now what we're gonna do is we're going to repeat all the exercises we've done and then do some balance work at the end. So I guess we're not repeating all of the exercises, we're repeating a lot of the strength ones. So we'll start with the regular squat. So that's the more narrow squat. Then we'll do the regular bicep curl with the palms forward. Then we'll move to the sumo squat, so the wider squat. And then we'll do those wider squats, and then we'll do the narrow bicep curls or the hammer curls. Then from there, we're gonna sit and do the leg lifts, both sides, and then the heel raises, either in seated or standing. After that, then we'll do some more balance work. So if you want, grab your weights. If you don't want your weights, don't grab your weights. Just scooch my chair out of the way. So we're starting with regular squats. Feet go about shoulder width or a little wider. We bend and straighten those legs. Up to you how low you go. Up to you how fast you go. Maybe one or two more. All right, bring those legs back towards each other when you're ready. Palms face forward with your weights. Regular bicep curls. One or two more. Great. Now we go sumo squats. Weights by the chest if you want them. Feet go wide, wider than the shoulders, toes point out. We bend the knees and come up. One or two more. No rush, but when you're ready, bring your legs back towards each other. Hammer curl, so grab those weights if you don't have them. We bend the elbows, hands by the shoulders, and then back down. And you can do this seated, right? If you need a break, go for it. We're going to be sitting next anyways. All right, finishing that up, one or two more. Great, have a seat. We're doing those leg raises. Put your weights off to the side. I suppose if you wanted a little more challenge, you could put your weight on your thigh as you lift the leg. I'm not going to do that, but you're absolutely welcome to try that, having your weight on your leg. So one straight leg, we lift and lower the leg. Okay, let's go ahead and bend and switch legs. Other leg comes forward, up and down. Good, finishing that up. Bend the knees, we go into heel raises. You can either stay seated to do your heel raises, or go ahead and come up to stand. Hold on to something as you lift and lower. All right, finishing that up. Come to stand if you're seated. We'll do a quick stretch before we balance. Hands on the back of the chair, upside down L pose or chair pose. You find the variation that you like. Chair dog. Go ahead and lift yourself back up, coming to stand. We're going back to some balancing. So let's go ahead and try and stand on one foot. So if you find that standing completely on one foot is not possible, even as you're holding on with one or two hands, then you're just gonna have one toe on the ground, either with the foot behind you or in front of you. I'll give you a side view of that as well. So if I'm standing on one foot, I'm holding on one or two hands, I can have the toe touching the ground behind me or in front for just a little extra support. So feel free to do that if that's what you need. So we're standing on one foot. We're trying to find our balance here. You're holding on with two hands, or one hand, or just one or two fingers, or no hands at all. And that still goes with you're trying to do this semi one foot with one toe touching on the other foot, if that's what you need for the right amount of challenge. Great, and let's go ahead and switch sides. So other foot comes down, other leg lifts. Again, you can touch the ground with the toe in front of you or behind you, or lift it completely. Feel free to hold on with 2 hands, or 1 hand, 1 or 2 fingers, or no hands. Hands come back down. Chair dog or upside down L. Hands on the chair, walk yourself back. Knees can be bent if necessary. And then lift yourself back up to stand. Go ahead and take a step away from the chair. Let's do a few shoulder rolls back. Few shoulder rolls forward. And then inhale, circle the arms out to the side and up towards the ceiling. Exhale, arms lower back down. Again, inhale, circle the arms out and up. Exhale, back down. One more. Inhale, circle out and up. And exhale, lower the arms down. Awesome work, everybody. Thanks so much for joining for our functional fitness class today. Every class is different. So every functional fitness class is different. We work different muscles. So if you're new, just know that it's never the same. Some days is harder, some days are easier. Lots of variety. If you need something calmer, our yoga class is primarily seated. So just know that that is an option as well if you need something more relaxed and stretchy. And now we have time if you have any questions. So if you have any questions about class, so that would be our yoga or our functional fitness class, now is a good time to ask. You can put it in the chat or unmute yourself. If you have GoGo questions, the best thing to do is to email GoGo directly or call GoGo.
Move of the week for next time.
Oh my gosh. Thank goodness for you. I was even thinking about it as we were doing the workout. I was like, oh, I have to remember to tell people the move of the week. Balancing, standing 1 foot in front of the other, because we did this so much today. So that's sorry, I know my head is cut off, but you can all probably see this. Standing 1 foot in front of the other. I'll just my camera here for just a moment. That tandem stance or balance beam standing, 1 foot in front of the other. That is your move of the week. Try and sprinkle that in throughout your day. Definitely write that down. I will do that here. Oh, I'm running out of space. In a way, you might write that down to remind yourself. It could be like tandem balance or 1 foot in front of the other balance or balance beam stand or tightrope stand. Nell, it looks like you have your hand up.
Hi, I'm rather new here. I just wanted to say thank you for giving different options because I have bad arthritis and surgery. So it gives me the chance to still do my exercises with you when I wouldn't be able to do them otherwise. So I just want to say thank you for that.
Thanks for saying that. I'm glad that you were able to do the workout with the different variations. And also that goes, if anybody feels like, oh, I didn't get a variation that worked for me, you can always ask. And then I can tell you a variation that'll potentially work, and then you can sprinkle that in for future classes if I don't give the option you want.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you. Veronica's asking, when I do the head movements, I feel dizzy. Is that normal? So your head motion. No, I would not say that that is normal. It could be typical, that can happen to people. It can happen for a variety of different reasons. Sometimes there's something going on with your vestibular system. We sometimes don't realize how much we also use our vision for balance. I think that's something interesting to potentially let your doctor know about. That, oh, when I do head motions, I get dizzy. It can come up with a lot of different disorders, but it can also just be like, oh, that happened today and it's a weird day and it's not a big deal. So uh it is something that does happen regularly though, so I don't want you to feel stressed, but it could just be a one-off thing or something more serious. So just let your doctor know.
I've piped
Um,
in before. It's Twyla, because I have dysautonomia in POTS and I do get dizzy. And what I've discovered is if I do the head motions very slowly, it's okay. But what really bothers me is the L position if I drop my head. So I've discovered I can do the L position if I leave my head raised. And once I discovered that, I don't get dizzy.
Thank you, Twyla, for sharing that. I'm sure that was helpful for Veronica, and for anyone else who's experiencing that. Um, yeah, if you have that, if the postural changes can create a lot of dizziness, then you definitely. I love that trick of keeping your head up with the chair dog or the L pose.
I still have difficulty raising on my toes if I'm standing and even sitting. What kinds of things can I do to flex up a little bit?
So definitely do it seated. And if you can't do it seated, if that's still too much weight, see my sweatshirt on the ground here. You could, I'm not getting up. I'm just pretending I'm sitting in a chair. You could lift your foot up and just work on the pointing and the flexing of the foot. And then if you had a band, you could wrap the band around your foot. This is maybe not an ideal band,
Yeah.
but then you can point and flex your foot against the band, so you're creating some resistance, but not as much resistance as the weight of your body. So you could be doing that, or stick with the heel raises
Hmm.
seated, or moving through it without without a band.
Okay, thanks.
You're welcome. So someone's asking in the chat, I know you're asking this directly to me, but I think someone else might have this question. Is the recording for this class available? It will be available in about a week or so. If you scroll up a little bit, V put in the YouTube channel, a link to our YouTube channel. And so you can go to the YouTube channel and find all of our recordings there. So we have a ton of classes. I don't even know at this point, maybe we have like 50 classes up there, so you can access everything. You will get an email as well with a link to the recording when it comes out.
That's great. Thank you.
You are welcome.
And I'm sorry I couldn't make it through the whole session, but I sat there and done my toes up and down. And done a lot of bicep, but I done the stretches and the L. It's weird because those are the same exercises I have to do with physical therapy. I have a therapist that comes in and I stand at the counter and I do those exercises, squats and leg lifts and everything.
I love that. I love that. Then this is continuing on your PT sessions.
Yes, it is. Yeah.
I'm actually moving.
Oh, I'm sorry.
Okay. I said I'm actually moving beyond my physical therapy because with the squats and stuff, we're ahead of where they have me.
Love it. Yay. I love when, you can surpass what someone else's, desired expectation is for you by just coming to this class. Oh, this is so awesome. Thanks for sharing that. Any other questions or thoughts?
No, I just want to thank you for making me feel welcome after so long being away. I really appreciate it.
Thank you. So great to have you back here. I'm glad you're back home and here with us on Zoom.
Thank you.
All right. If there are no other questions, I will let you go. Thanks everyone so much for being here. Friday is yoga. And I hope to see you next time. Thanks, everyone.
Yes.
Um,
Okay, thank you. Have a good and best of afternoon.
You too.
Thank
See you next week,
everyone.
Aedra.
See you next
Yep.
time.